Man, the battle against lust, it feels endless, right? I've heard dudes complain, oh, but it's the woman's fault. They dress like this, so they lead me to sin. No, they don't. That's an excuse. You know it, right? If lust was really about how women dressed, you would be lusting after your mother. You would be lusting after your sister or your daughter. Because what if there was something skipping? By your logic, you would be lusting after them. Why don't you? Why don't you do that? The reason why is because you love them. You love these women truly. Because they're your immediate family. So what's the difference between these women and the women on screen or the women outside? The difference is that you love them. You see them as people, as humans, made in the image of God, not as objects, right? And that's the whole point. Lust is not a battle of self-control. You can't fight and win over a primal instinct, kind of. Lust is the lack of love. Lust reduces a human being, someone made in the image of God, into nothing but an object of your pleasure, right? You take her dignity, you take her soul, you take her story, you flatten it down into an object for your goon session. So this is why porn is so destructive. It's not just dopamine. It's an addiction cycle. We all know this, right? It rewires your brain into thinking that these people aren't people. You see them as, these people aren't people. That's what your brain starts thinking. It's the same guy. It's always the same guy who says, "Oh, but I love women. I respect women. I'm drink matcha. I'm a feminist." And then he goes home and then shoots 3 blacks. That's not love. He doesn't love these women. He doesn't respect them at all. He is a slave to his lust. And see, I get it, man. Porn is everywhere. It's so available. It's free. It's endless. Back in the day, like a generation ago, your dad, they had to find this stuff, like dig for it. We don't have to. It finds us. You open TikTok, you will see someone shaking ass. I read this quote once. It said, "Men did greater things when it was more difficult to see boobs," and that makes sense. We did. Think about it. Every time you stroke it, you're not just getting off. You are getting off, but there's more than that. You're training your brain. Like I said a few seconds ago, you're rewiring your brain into loving pixels more than people. It's like telling your brain, yeah, this is enough. It's not enough. That's why you keep on going back to porn. It's like drinking salt water. The more you drink it, the thirstier you get. So how do you break free? How do you stop lust when it feels like it controls you? The answer is love. Love. It sounds cliche, it sounds corny. Even if it is, it's true. And I know some of you may be thinking, love a porn star? Yes. And then your immediate thought would be, love a porn star? That's gross. That's the point, right? It is gross. It's supposed to gross you out, because the second you view a porn star with love, or some OF model with love, with the same love you love your mother, your daughter, your sister with, you will feel grossed out because you see them as people now. You don't see them as objects. You see them as people. And then that's when it hits you. Lust, it starts dying because your brain, it understands that's a person. It's not a goon box. It's a person. Whoa. Nice. Last year I had a friend, right? He's still my friend. He was a gooner, like straight up. twice a day, every day of the week. This guy won't stop in the trenches. But one day he caught feelings for this girl, some dance thing, I don't know. Right? Not just, oh, she's pretty. No. He actually liked her. He genuinely cared for her. You don't see that very often nowadays, but he did. He wanted the best for her. You know what happened? Porn. He hated it. Like almost immediately, he hated porn. Right? He couldn't even look at it anymore. Remember, this guy was a gooner every day of the week. This one girl changed him like black. Right? So this, as you didn't say it, but you couldn't tell that his brain finally understood the difference between fake love, lust, and real love. What he was feeling right there and then. So even though the relationship didn't work out, he found love in his heart. He started loving women like he would love his sister. He has a sister, so he can relate to this. He started loving other women like his sister, his mother, or his daughter. He broke free. That's what you can do too. See, that's the key, right? There are two types of love. Romantic love, the love you have for your partner, your wife. I'm assuming you're a dude. So the love for your wife, the love for your partner, and then you have platonic love, the love for absolutely everyone else. This doesn't mean that platonic love is a weaker form of love. It's not. It means you love someone without lust. It means you value them as a human being and not an object. So if you start loving people platonically, you start loving people platonically, start seeing other women as your daughters, as your sisters. If mom is kind of weird, but if you're into that, sure. Lust starts losing its grip on you. It's not in your head anymore, kind of, hopefully, right? Because love can't live in the same room as lust. When love walks in, lust dies. So I'll give you some practical advice, right? So here's how you do. The next time you feel tempted, don't try to resist. Resisting lust is like resisting a primal urge. You're not winning at all. Don't fight it. Replace it. Like, look at the thought. That's a girl. That's a person. That's a woman. Whoa. That's someone's sister. That's someone's daughter. Hell, that could be my sister. That could be my daughter. Why would I look at her with lust? So this is what I want you to do. When you see through, pray for her, wish her well, click off the tab. The first time it'll be weird. Oh, that's that. Oh, I have to see that woman as my sister. That's kind of gross. Yeah, we know. But eventually, it rewires your brain into loving people as people, not as objects. Because love is stronger than lust. So guys, listen, right? The battle against lust is not discipline. You can't discipline yourself against something like this. It's not possible. It's not about your guilt either. It's about love. Never let lust creep into your heart. Stamp it out the second it gets in. Because if it gets in, it gets a lot more difficult to remove it. You know this. So what I want you to do is hold love in your heart for your partner, for your family, for everyone else.